In this lecture, we're going to look at the connections QML element, an element that allows us to pass signals back and forth between QML elements in a rather flexible way. Here we have a mouse area, inside we have a non-clicked signal handler, and inside we are doing something. A problem arises if we want to do more complex stuff. What if we want to respond on this signal handler in multiple places? The connections element allows us to do that. How do we do that? Here we have an example. We have the red rectangle here, which has a mouse area. It has an ID here. And inside we have a non-clicked signal handler. Inside we say that we clicked in the red rectangle. Down here we have two other rectangles, the green one and the blue one. And inside you see that we have a connections QML element. Inside you define the target, which is going to be the source of your signal. And you say the name of the signal that you are responding to in this connections element. And you see that we are able to respond to clicks on the mouse area inside the red rectangle in the green and blue rectangle here. If this is not making any sense, we're going to go to Qt Creator in a moment and play with this, and you are going to completely understand this. But the main idea is to be able to respond to one signal in multiple places. Of course, it has many other applications, and one of the other uses is being able to respond to signals coming from C++, which is what we're going to do exactly in the next lecture. But first, we need to understand the connections object. We're going to go to Qt Creator and play with that. Okay, here we are in Qt Creator. We're going to create our new project very quick. We call it Connections QML Demo. Save it in the usual location. Hit Next. Choose your Qt version. Choose your kit. And finish. We want to change the title here to say Connections QML. We want to put in a row component, which is going to contain our rectangles. We are going to put in the first rectangle. ID is going to be red rect. It's going to have a width of 100, a height of 100. The color is going to be red. Inside we want to have a mouse area. ID is going to be red. It is going to fill the parent. And when it is clicked, we want to console log. Let's finish this. We want to console log. This is going to do. So what we want to do is to define two other rectangles, but we are going to leave out the mouse area because we want to respond to the click on this red rectangle in these two other rectangles using the connections QML element. Let's copy the rectangle here and paste it 2 times. So 1, 2. We need to change a few things. We have duplicate IDs. We need to take care of this. I'm going to call this green rect. It's going to be green. And we don't need a mouse area, so we're going to take it out. This is going to be blue rect. It's going to be blue. And we don't need the mouse area in here. Let's run the application and see what it looks like. Okay, we have the red, green, and blue rectangles. So what we want to do is to respond to the click on the mouse area here in the two other rectangles. For that, we're going to use connections component. And as we saw in the slides, we need to specify the target, which is going to be the source of the signal. The signal we want to connect to is going to come from this mouse area, and its ID happens to be red rect mouse area ID. We're going to copy it and make it our target here. We want to respond when somebody clicks. So we're going to type our signal here and put curly braces and respond to the signal in here. We're going to copy this console log message here to save some time. Let's put a tab here. And we're going to say this let's run the application. What we expect is that we click on the red rectangle and we're going to see two messages. One is going to be from the red rectangle itself, saying that we clicked in the red rectangle. The other is going to come from the green rectangle here, saying that the green rectangle is responding. Let's click, and you see that this is green rectangle responding. We are able to respond to clicks coming from the red rectangle from the green rectangle. We can copy the connections component and do the same in the blue rectangle. All we have to do is say that the message is coming from the blue rectangle here. Let's run. Click. See that green rectangle is responding. Blue rectangle is responding. We messed up our console log messages. Let's correct this. This is blue rect responding. Let's run again. Click. This is blue rect responding. This is green rect responding. We are able to respond on a signal in different places, and this power is coming from the connections component that we are using here. This is the main usage of this component, and I am covering it here because we are going to use it in the next lecture, capturing signals coming from the C++ side in QML. Okay, this is all I had for this lecture. I hope you know how you can use the connections component to connect a signal from one component to several other components. In the next lecture, we're going to take this a little bit further and connect a C++ signal to a QML slot. I'll see you in the next lecture.